Hello, hello.
Hello, how are you, Fopsy?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I did the homework last night for the lead magnet.
Woohoo. Okay, what did you come up with?
I had this lead magnet already, but it wasn't doing anything,
Okay.
right? So it was welcome, blah, blah, blah. Here are my top three practices. And I
Mm-hmm.
had described and then
Mm-hmm.
at the end, it just said book a call to know more, but it was on my website and you
Mm-hmm.
had to register through my email only. So I hadn't promoted it or anything like that.
Okay. Now, okay. So now you
Right?
know you need to promote it and all of that. Okay. So tell
Yes.
me, what updates did you make to it? I guess we're starting this call off right and early since you're the first year, anyways. What updates do you make to it?
What changes did I make?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the title of it because
Mm-hmm.
it was people registered to my
Workshop.
no my like my on my website when you registered to get my newsletter that
Mm.
would go out.
Okay.
Right? So, and a lot of times people were coming, but we're not registering.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay. So that
change
makes
the.
more updates. And I think one of the key things from yesterday I was saying to you was to make it more them centric. Like if you look at the words they're actually saying to you, to make sure that you're actually saying words that they say, not your interpretation of how it should sound. Like not like presence in practice, but like I've tried everything to heal and nothing is working. If you've tried everything to heal and nothing is working, this is what to do. Like those kinds of words. But essentially just making sure it sounds like them, not like
Right.
you. Yeah.
And I mean, the fun of it is I am them.
Okay. So get into your head of when you're them, not when you're them, the post version. Okay, I like that. Sometimes
Yeah.
you are your people, and it's also good because it means you have a good grasp on what will resonate because you're
Mhm.
them. Okay, okay.
Thank
Makes
you.
Hi Talia. Looks like you're not muted, but I just muted you, so it should be good. Hi Lisa, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Okay, so today is off to a fun start. We're already having conversations. I thought I saw someone just join, but then they disappeared, so I guess they'll be back soon. Today we have no slides. We're going to be in the workbook. So if you had made a copy before, pull it out. If you hadn't made a copy before, make a copy now of the workbook, which should be in the invite. But I'm going to also find the link and put it in the chat. To make a copy, you just go to file and you should see make a copy. And I'm going to have to remember to keep saying that so that as people come, they know. Okay. So welcome to day 3 of the lead sprint. It's been a fantastic week so far. Thank you for coming back day in and day out and being a part of this. It's been 3 days already, so let's do a quick knowledge check. Day 1, what was the biggest takeaway? And then day 2, what was the biggest takeaway? Put it in the chat or come off mute if you're not eating. If you're eating, totally get it. It's lunchtime. So this is the perfect time for it. I had a late breakfast, so I hear you. Okay, what was your biggest takeaway from day 1 and 2? I was just having a chat with Michelle at the beginning where she was like, she's already tweaking her lead magnets because she realized I wasn't doing anything. So maybe you've had a similar realization. Put it in the chat. The biggest takeaway from day 1 and day 2. And while you're doing that, I will pull out my own takeaways, I guess. So it's day 3, and on day 1, we talked about the difference between a lead and an engaged lead and why that matters in your business. Um, Day 2, we talked about your lead magnet and the elements that it needs to have and how it really can be a secret weapon to pulling engaged leads, to pulling people that are interested in what you're selling. And in order for it to do that, it needs to be something that solves a problem for them, a narrowly defined problem, such that when that problem is solved, the need for your offer becomes apparent. So we've done all of those so far. Today, day 3, our goal is for you to have a live working list of 100 potential leads to reach out to, people that you can contact today. That's why we're not doing slides today. We're going to have you in your workbook actually working. And if you're listening to the replay and you don't have that workbook, maybe did you register? If you registered, you should have the link to this call. But if you don't have it for some reason, you are welcome to DM me. I'm at Fopsy the Great, FOPSYTHEGREAT on social media, and I'm almost always on social media, so I will reply you with the link to join. So our mission is to have that list of 100 people you can contact today, and you will realize you do have 100 people. And my personal goal is for you to at least reach out to 10 of them today, 10 out of the 100. But if you're super duper ambitious, you can reach out to all 100 before this week is over. So pick your own goal. Let me just confirm again that nobody's waiting. Okay, nobody's waiting. All right. So do you have the copy of your workbook now? Are you good? Thumbs up. Okay, I see two thumbs up. And the people without videos, I will assume you do it too. Okay. So the problem is hasn't really changed. At this point, maybe you're thinking, I don't know if I have enough people to talk to about what I do, but at the same time, I don't want to be a bother to people. What if they say no? Maybe you're feeling that hesitation that stops you from proactively going out to reach people. But yesterday we said that there are at least three core ways of finding people to talk to to talk to about your business. It's outreach, it's content, and it's ads. One thing that's in our control, that is probably one of the fastest ways to get to people, is outreach. So going to meet them, not waiting for them to come to you, but going to meet them. Because if your offer is relevant, they will raise their hand. If it's irrelevant, they will say no, and no is not a problem. No just means not right now. It means not relevant to me. It means maybe I know someone else who is going to need this, but it's not me. And so you're not going to take that personally. But one other core philosophy that I want to instill is that execution is what matters. You could learn and learn and absorb new information all day long, but if you don't do anything with it, nothing changes. So execution is the discipline of getting things done. So as much as we're going to generate names, generate ideas, if you don't do anything with them, you just acquire more knowledge and you need to follow through. So today, and this entire week has been about helping you see that the power is in your hands to do something, to control the inputs, the leads you get, so that you can get the clients you want. So today we're going to act so that you actually have names to reach out to, but then you reaching out is in your court. So you still need to do the outreach. Okay. So in the workbook you have for day 3, if you scroll all the way to day 3, there are 4 groups of places that we're going to look for leads in today. But I realized that I didn't want to overwhelm you in the workbook, so I didn't split each group into further groups, but I do in my own notes have further groups. Each group has 5 places, so I have 20 places to look at for leads today. So that's how we're going to get the leads. And my goal is, as I go through each place, I actually want you writing out names, people you can think of that come to your mind from each of these places, right? And if as you're hearing the places to look for people, your brain might go, I don't know who I have in that area. I don't know if I know anybody that qualifies under this. And I want you to push past that I don't know feeling and ask your brain, suppose I knew, where would I go? Like, where would I go to find people? Suppose I had to find out, where would I go to find people? I see someone just joined us. Hi, Tomide. Today we have no slides. We're going through our workbook. I just posted the link in the chat, but you probably have it already. So it's the workbook that we've been going through for the past that you've had in the invite. So just make a copy and join us in the workbook on day 3. Okay, so push past that I don't know feeling to suppose I knew, where would I go? Where would I find people? Right? And that's how we're going to get you to be writing out names as you go through each of these places. Okay, does everybody already has the workbook? So already checked. Now let's get into group 1. Okay, so the first place you want to look for leads is your existing digital network. Your existing digital network. This is a gold mine of a place to look at. You know, one place to look for leads is here because you can offer them something more, like your lead magnet that you created yesterday or your actual offer. In all the things we're going to go through today, or places to look for people, you reach out to them and you can either offer them your lead magnet, which is the thing you created yesterday, or your actual offer. Up to this point, I have made a big assumption that you have an offer. So what do you sell? Do you have something that you sell? What do you sell? You sell coaching, you sell consulting. Okay, I see nods, so I know you have something to sell. So I made a call for coaches and consultants, so I know that most people have an offer. So you're either going to offer them your lead magnet or your offer. a direct offer to work with you, right? So the first place under group one, your existing digital network, to look is your existing email list. How many people have an email list that you email? Do you have people? Okay, good. And it doesn't matter if it's 8 people or 80 people. Think of it. Do you have 5 people here? So now think about the number of people you have on your email list, and let that be the first number you write down in this place. If you have, I have 270. So I write 270 there. That's 270 potential people that I could reach out to. But of that 270, maybe only about 38% open my emails. So that part I think about further. But then there's a subset even that I know clicks more. I just see that piece of data. So maybe I'm going to reach out to the small subset that is actually clicking to give to offer them my actual offer. This week, what I have done with my entire email list is I invited them to this lead sprint, which is a lead magnet for me. So in your case, you might decide to reach out to your whole email list and send them your lead magnet. Something you could do is, if you're a business coach, you could say, I'm running a free 1 hour workshop on how to double your revenue in Q4. Do you want an invite? It could be simple like that. That's a lead magnet offer. If it was an actual offer, you could tell them about how to work with you. So the number you want to put here is, I want you to have at least 5 people under each, area we're going to go through. So in your existing email list, do you have at least 5 people you can think of that you're going to reach out to specifically to um to offer them your lead magnet, or to make an offer to them? Write their names out if you know them. 5 actual people that you're going to reach out to. I'm going to make a note to check through who's been clicking stuff from me recently, and I'm going to send an offer to them. They've had lots of opportunities to engage with me. They know me. They're probably my warmest leads. So I'm going to make an offer to work together. And an offer has to be clear so that they can say yes or no. So there shouldn't be like a maybe there. So 5 people under your existing email list. Okay. I talked a lot so that you can kind of be writing while I was talking. Hopefully that was happening. Was it happening? 5 people, or at least the number that you had from your email list. Okay. So that's the first group of people, your existing email list. We're going through the workbook today. So if anybody else has joined, please pull out your workbook, and under the first group of people, your existing digital network, the first place to look for leads is your existing email list. So can you think of 5 people you can make an offer to or share your lead magnet with from there directly? Okay. The second one is your social media followers and connections. The action here is to see who's been engaging with you, who's been liking and commenting on your content. If you're a sleep consultant, you could say, I saw you like my post on toddler sleep. I'm hosting a live Q&A tonight. Are you interested in coming? That's an invitation to come hear you on a live webinar that you're going to be doing. And on that place, you're going to share something of value and then make an offer to work with you. Right? So again, you, in all these places, you have two options: either make them an offer for your lead magnet, or make them a direct offer to work with you. You could say in the same breath, I saw you like my post on toddler sleep. Um, do you have a toddler you're trying to sleep train at the moment? Something like that. That could open the door for a conversation about your offer. But here, think of 5 people that have been engaging with your content on social media, that you've been having recent conversations with in the DMs, that you can list out their names. 5 people go again here. If you've had 5 people from your email list and now 5 people from your social media, we should be up to 10 people. If you don't do social media, maybe you have a personal social media, and you can think of people that might be interested in learning more about what you do, in which case you will offer them your lead magnet because they haven't yet engaged. So you're trying to move them from leads to engaged leads. At this point, you know the meaning of those terms. Okay. I wonder if people are waiting. I think they are. Yep. Oh, geez. Hello, everyone. I see a few people just joined us. I don't know why I had you in the waiting room, but welcome. We are going through actually writing out names of people that we're going to reach out to today. It's day 3 of the lead sprint, and we've talked about engaged leads so far. We've talked about your lead magnet. If you've caught up on the replay, which was available and recorded, you know all about that. So we are working through the workbook today, which I have put it again in the chat. Okay, I saw a question from Tommy. I have an offer, but I always get stuck on how to offer it to people I feel like a sleazy salesman. Ask that again in questions part. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. It's a really important question, but I don't want to forget. So just remind me about it again soon. So if you are just joining, please make a copy of the workbook. We're writing out actual people we're going to reach out to. The first one we've gone through is we're going through the first group, your existing digital network, who is on your email list that you can actually offer either your lead magnet or a direct offer to work with you. And the goal there was to put 5 people. Second thing we talked about so far was your social media followers. Who's already interacting with you and your content that you can reach out to. The example I gave was a sleep consultant. If you've been posting something about, navigating toddler sleep, you could say something like, I saw you liked my post on toddler sleep. I'm hosting a Q&A tonight. Are you interested? And on that question and answer session, you would give them something of value, teach them about something you do, and make an offer to work with you. Maybe you have a sleep training 6-week course or something, or you have a one-on-one coaching to help them get their kids to sleep through the night, something like that. Okay, so the third place we're going to look under your digital network is it's similar to the last one about your social media followers and connections, but a little different because it's people who have engaged with your content. If somebody commented on a post 3 months ago and you're a career coach so was about salary negotiation, you could say something like, hey, I saw you commented on my post about salary negotiation. Would you be interested in seeing how we can get you a 10 to 50K raise this year? That's a direct offer, by the way. So it kind of also addresses Tomide's question about being sleazy. This is a question to say, you've already signaled that you're interested in something similar. Would you be interested in the result that my offer gets you, helping you get a 10 to 50K raise? If someone is really happy with their job and just in fact got a raise, they would say, oh, no, thank you. But if somebody has been thinking about it, I should have gotten a promotion already, that isn't happening, your message would come at the right time. So again, making offers is about being clear and making sure that it's easy for them to say yes if it's for them and no if it's not for them. But now they know what you do. Now they know the benefit of it and see how they didn't say, would you be interested in a one-on-one session with me? Because they don't know what that really kind of offers. They led with the benefit instead of like, would you be interested in it? In seeing if we can get you a 10 to 50K raise this year? Like that's something that they want, and that's probably the result of their offer. So that's one way you can make the offer. So once again, think about who's been engaging with your content. Maybe you hosted a workshop recently, but we're still staying digital. So a digital workshop and people were engaging with you, but they didn't take the next step. Can you go back to that list and re-engage with them? Okay, still under your existing digital network, who has downloaded your lead magnet recently? I think Lisa shared yesterday that 5 people downloaded her lead magnet and one person became a client. The remaining 4, can you reach out to them? Like, have you had any personal conversations with them? Are you able to invite them into something, the next step that you're offering? Maybe it's a sales call or to consume something else from you. Maybe you created a new video that you think would be relevant to them that's related to the topic of your lead magnet. That's something you could share with them. We engage people that have downloaded a past lead magnet with a higher. The point here is to really write actual names of people over here. Hi, Relial, welcome. Today we are going through the workshop, the workbook rather, that's attached to the call. So hopefully you have access to it. If not, this is it. You can make a copy, and we're actually creating the list of names of people you're going to reach out to. So far, we're going through your existing digital network. We've said to go through the list of people what you have on your email list, pick out 5 you can reach out to, your social media followers. The third was people who've engaged with your content online. The fourth we just spoke about was anyone who's downloaded a previous lead magnet. And now we are on to the 5th. If you've hosted a past webinar or an event online, can you invite them into a follow-up session, right? Maybe you're a leadership coach and you can say to someone, I really enjoyed having you at my last event. I'm doing a private 10-person mastermind session on building high-performing teams. Would you be interested in joining us? That's an offer, right? But it's related to what they do. So think about yourself. Have you hosted anything virtually recently where people register but they didn't take the next step? And what can you invite them to do? Don't just consume this passively. The idea is for you to be writing out people that come to mind. You have names. Most of us don't have like a bazillion people in our audience, so you probably know real people that you can think about from here, that you can have names here. And the idea is if you have 5 names under each of these, you will get to 100 people before the end of this call. So under your existing digital network, we had your existing email list, your social media followers and connections, those who may be there but haven't really engaged fully, then those who have engaged with your content. Maybe they've commented, they've liked, they've DM'd you, they've asked you questions during your Q&As. Write down people you can reach out to and follow up with. Um, see someone else is trying to join. I will let them in 1 second. They disappeared. Okay. Okay, how are we doing with the list? Coming up? Okay. Alita, are you here? I see you're trying to join, but I don't know if you're here. Okay. Maybe you're in. Okay. Okay, you're here. All right, awesome. Because I saw your name pop up as trying to join and I wasn't sure. All right, welcome. So that is your existing digital connection. This is, please stretch yourself to say, if your default answer is I don't know anyone here, suppose you knew, how would you find people? Is that if you have 100 followers, there are people in there that are potential people you can reach out to, right? And that's looking at your digital connection. The next group we're going to look at is your existing physical network, because there's life offline as well, right? There's people you know in person. So these people you already know, and they know you, they like you, they trust you in real life. Now it's time to leverage those relationships. The first place we're going to look might be a little dicey. It's your family and friends. We're going to ask 3 friends, who have the problem you solve, or might know people who you have the problem you solve. Ask them to make introductions for you. For example, if you are a parenting coach and you are doing a webinar on toddler tantrums, do you know any mom friends? Right. So ask your sister, do you have any mom friends that you might want to invite, that you can invite to this program? I had a conversation with someone on Sunday who wants to start the event planning business, and I was like, I know that you're about to be a bridesmaid for someone, and she's about to plan a wedding. Can you ask if you can be a supporting planner or something? Like, she's your friend. Use leverage your relationships. So you're going to ask 3 people in your friends or family. 3 is a random number, so it can be 5, it can be whatever. People, your friends or family, that can introduce you to people that either have the problem you solve. Maybe you know a business owner that is a family friend, and you're an accountant. Why couldn't you ask them if they would hire you as their accountant? Or if they wouldn't hire you, do they know anyone they can refer you to? So you can also make the stakes a little bit lower. It doesn't have to be them. It can be somebody else they know that they can make a referral for. And please don't ask once and forget it. They might forget, or they might be thinking about it. Then follow up with them. It's your job to follow up with them. So start with your friends and family to see who they know that they can introduce you to. Okay, the 7th place, believe it or not, we're up to 7 places already, is your local community. So think of your gym, right? Wherever you go in person, that you can ask people. Can you offer a free in-person workshop at a local spot? Like maybe you're a life coach and you could say, I'm offering a free workshop on 6 secrets to beating anxiety, and invite people there. Is there a place you could go that you invite people? Maybe you're a part of a local church as well. You can invite people to whatever you're doing. So think about real people that come to mind as you're going through this list. Who do you know? What other places do you go to? In person, your local Pilates, is that how they pronounce it? The classes, essentially. Who could you ask? That's the 7th place to go. The 8th place is your professional network. Maybe you're already part of a professional network. Could you host a lunch and learn that's related to the topic that you of the problem you solve? Most of us here are coaches and consultants. So that means that we really are trading on our knowledge and our expertise. So could you host a lunch and learn? If you reached out as the career coach to say, I'd love to host a free lunch and learn for your network on 3 steps to finding your dream job before 2026, that creates a natural sense of urgency. So it's very important to begin to look there, right? We're not going to wait for clients to come to us. We're going to go out and get them. So that's what this is about, to really help our brains think about how to cast the widest net with people that we already know. So can you look at your local community and say, where do I want to, where can I find people that might be interested in what I'm offering? Can you look at your professional network and say, where can I offer lunch and learns? Who in my professional network might need the services I offer? Even your colleagues, if you still have a full-time job, honestly, okay, that's the next one. Mentors and former colleagues. Okay, ask a former mentor for an introduction. Mentors they love to help. So ask them for introductions. This one also is not on them. They're just introducing someone to you. It's not them coming to buy your service. If you're a productivity coach, could you say, hey, do you know anyone who's always swamped with work? I'm doing a free live workshop that helps XYZ. And that could be a lead magnet, right? Or maybe I just created this scorecard that does XYZ. So you can offer either your lead magnet or your actual offer to them. It's one of these things. Think of people and places, mentors, former colleagues, current colleagues, right? The 10th place to look is people you've helped informally. Maybe you've given some people free advice, right? I'm so glad the advice I gave you last month helped. I'm doing a free live workshop on scaling. Would you like an invite? It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to end there, because again, it's not all on them saying yes to your offer. It's who else they know. Who do they know that might need what you're offering? This is how to kind of expand the network, your warm outreach network. Before you start emailing people cold, you can use the resources that you have in your at your disposal, essentially. So we just went through your existing physical network, but you probably, this is a sample size. If you could go deeper, there might be other layers in your physical network, other layers in your digital network. And if you've been writing down names, you could be up to 50 names, up to 50 names, five under each of these areas, people who you've helped informally. Okay, so the third group, if you are following in the workbook that you have access to, is your community of experts. Your community of experts, these are people who already have the audience you want. And this one can be a really big source of leverage, because it's not just them, it's who they have access to. So think about it. Number 11 here is thought leaders and bloggers. Could you offer to, guest post or guest post in their blog or sponsor their newsletter? One of my friends is his audience is growing pretty rapidly. He now has 8,000 followers, and he talks about business building, life in a new country, all of that. And recently, a mortgage advisor offered to sponsor his newsletter, not because she's just being generous, but because she has realized that his audience is growing. He has people that have just moved to a new country that might be needing to buy a house, right? And so, like, you're thinking about not just where you know people, but who you know that has the people that you want to reach. So think about thought leaders you have in your network, bloggers you have in your network, and offer them either your lead magnet or your actual offer, right? This time around, the example I gave was an ad, right? They're paying to be in that newsletter. They're paying to be there. They're paying to be in front of people that they want. And so think about this broadly. Who do you know that's a thought leader or a blogger of some sort? Maybe it's in an area related to finance, an area related to beauty, but maybe they have the audience you want to reach. Think about them. And similarly, we have podcast hosts. You could pitch yourself to be a guest on their show. This way, you provide content for their show, but then most of the time when you go on the podcast, at the end, they ask you, is there anything you want to drive people to? You could offer your lead magnet here, or you could make a direct call to your offer, right? So think about podcast hosts in your community. Not when I say your community, don't just think about your contact list, although that's a good place to start, but people you engage with daily on threads. They are your community of experts as well. People you engage with on LinkedIn, they're your community of experts. So think about those people as well. If you've already been in their world, they count as your community of experts, right? So the 13th place to look is newsletter creators. So I talked about this one. You can offer to be a featured expert. So beyond sponsoring the newsletter, you could write an article for them. So people that create a lot of content, they sometimes get tired of, like it's a chore to have to create new content. So if you offer a piece of content that allows you to demonstrate your expertise, you write about accounting, you write about finding a job in this market, you write about building a small business. Who do you know that you could offer to be a featured expert in their space, right? Okay. Another one is online community moderators. What is an online community moderator? Essentially, they have a community of their own. You could offer a lead magnet for free to their members. So this looks like you could offer to come and speak as a guest in the community. You could offer something in exchange to just say, hey, I just created this. Actually, I have an example for this. I know someone who created an influencer rate calculator. So basically, influencers get brand deals all the time and the rates are all over the place. And she created a rate calculator. And that's probably a lead magnet for her, because you put in your details, how many followers you have, and it spews out what rates it thinks you should charge. And then maybe you give her your contact information. And now she shared that with other influencers she knows. And she's an influencer coach essentially. She helps people to charge better, also build their platforms better. But by creating that lead magnet and sharing it with other creators she knows, they're able to share it and say, hey, if you want to know how much you should be charging, go here. So think about online community moderators you have, people that have the audience you want, and see if you can offer them your lead magnet. If you can leverage the relationship you already have with them to get them to share their audience with you. That's what's going on here. Think of 5 people that have communities, that have memberships, that have group programs that you can reach out to. Okay, the 15th place to look is event organizers. The action here is to proactively pitch yourself to be a speaker, or to be a collaborator, even a facilitator of a session. Maybe not a speaker full on, but facilitating a session, like being an MC or something, right? Event hosts are always looking for speakers, looking for help. And if it's relevant to your audience, maybe someone is hosting an event for the Chamber of Commerce in your community, or they're hosting an event for real estate people, and you know that you've had a real estate client as an accountant. Why couldn't you offer to facilitate, to be an MC, to be a speaker, even on how to manage your finances, how to prepare for tax season, all of that, right? If you've done the assignment from yesterday of having a lead magnet, you also have something that's a low stakes way to get them to engage with you. So you could also put that beside your speech. If you give a speech, at the end of the day, you could make a direct call for them to work with you, or you could tell them to download your lead magnet, and that way you're able to get people into your world. The idea is to look at all these places where you can find leads for your business, so that you realize that it's in your control. It's in your control. You can get people to engage with your work. Okay, how are we doing so far? Let's pause here before we go into your local and professional hubs. How are we doing so far? Okay, I don't even know comment means no. Okay, hand up, sure.
It's really sparking a lot of ideas for me and things that been thinking about, but wasn't sure how to go about it. So the language you're using, Fopsy, is really helpful for me.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good to know. Good to know. What language specifically? So maybe I can reiterate it, because I'm not even sure what I'm saying that is.
When you're saying things like, I noticed you commented on my post earlier, I'm wondering, or, I have this coming up. Is this something that you're interested in? Here, let me send you the stuff.
Okay.
Right? So
Yeah,
those pieces, yeah, that's
got it.
helpful.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to know. This is
Yeah,
also feedback for me. Sometimes I'm like, is it landing? So good to know. Thank you, Michelle. All
yeah.
right. Anybody else? Any questions? Any thoughts? Any hesitations? I'll get into questions more once we're done, but just let me know if anything is landing or not landing. One of those things. Okay. All right. Maybe we'll finish and then we'll get into questions. So the fourth group of places to look is your local and professional hubs. So these are organized groups and associations where your clients go to solve their problems, because people already have other problems. And so there's other places that gather them. So for example, you might have professional associations. If you're an immigration consultant, you probably have an association of RCICs, which I think is Registered Canadian Immigration Consultants. Yay. Okay. So places that people already go. Can you offer to run a free workshop for their members? Maybe you have an association of corporate trainers, an association of wellness experts, an association of career coaches, or of maybe you're part of a group of people that are looking for co-op opportunities as a career coach. Could you offer a workshop that is relevant to them? A corporate trainer will say something like, I have a workshop on building team cohesion, and I'd love to run it for your members. So the thing here is, you're either offering your lead magnet or your offer, one of them, but both of them work, because if you do your lead magnet right, remember its job is to solve a narrow problem completely, such that when that problem is solved, it reveals another problem that your main offer fixes slash addresses completely. So it's not random. Lead magnet is not a freebie, and I'm repeating this for the benefit of those that didn't make it to day 2. But please, please, please actually reference it. I was talking to a client yesterday. They were showing me potential lead magnets, and I'm like, you should truly have come for day 2 of the lead sprint, because we talked about what it is and what is not. Some things are heavier lifts for people, and ideally you want your lead magnet to be fairly low lift. It can be heavier lift if they engage deeper, or if they're started to become part of the sales conversation. But like in the beginning, you can make it something that they can easily just use to decide if what you're offering is relevant to them. So when you're thinking of what to offer these people, all these people that we're coming up with, it's either your lead magnet or the actual offer to work with you. And when you're thinking of your offer, try to make it relevant right now. What is relevant right now? What makes something relevant right now is you saying the real problem that is solved, not in your expert speak, but in the way that they think about their problems. That's one way. The other thing is to highlight seasonal relevance. What do people want to do before the year comes to an end? What do they want to do before Halloween? What do they want to do before Christmas? Like all those kinds of things. Do you want to lose 25 pounds before you have to go back home to see your family members who are always complaining about, like, who always have something to say about weight, essentially? Like, so talk about what is seasonally relevant. And this is the bonus, by the way, of for anyone who decides to become a one-on-one client, coaching client with me. This the bonus we're having is the Q4 Money Now session, which will be focused entirely on exactly how to talk about your offer in a way that makes it relevant right now. Because of course you're creating impact. What you're doing is impactful, but how do you talk about it so that it is people know that they need it and they need it right now, so that they don't wait to pay you, so that you can get all the money you want to get before this year is over, so that you can end the year hitting those revenue goals you set for yourself. So the Q4 Money Now is a bonus for anyone who signs up to work with me this September 2025. That way we're able to finish our 12 weeks of one-on-one coaching before the year is coming to an end. You've likely gotten emails about it. If you haven't already, the way to learn to work together is to book a sales call with me at fopsy.ca/call. Fopsy is spelled fopsy.ca/call. And that was an ad for my one-on-one coaching. All right, keeping on. So we talked about professional associations. The 17th place to go is trade organizations and unions. Maybe you could volunteer for a committee and offer your expertise. What this does is that it gives you a chance to be more visible in places where your people might be. If you are an IT consultant and maybe you specialize in, cybersecurity, you could say, I'd love to help your members get up to speed on best practices. Imagine if somebody who was an IT consultant volunteered to speak at your association of fellow business owners, and they became the local IT person. Now, all of a sudden, every time you have IT problems, you know to go to them. Or if you have friends who have IT problems, you're like, oh, I know a guy, I know a girl, and this is what they do. And the point is to look for places where your leads might be. Trade organizations and unions is one place. Professional associations is another place that you could look. So think about these places. Are you already part of any of these associations that you're not really maximizing? Some of them you might even be paying membership dues, right? So are you using your membership dues to get you leads, right? Are you building relationships with those people? Even if you're not able to do something for the whole group, like a lunch and learn. Yesterday I spoke about how networking helped my clients close a 16,800 deal, and it wasn't just by those conversations in networking, it was the follow-up call after. So when you meet all these people at the networking event, can you book a one-on-one later? So hey Michelle, it was so lovely connecting with you at the event yesterday. Would love to get to know you and your work a little bit better, and do a quick 15-minute call or 30-minute call. And that call is not a sales pitch. It's just for you to learn about Michelle's work, Michelle to learn about your work, and then to also ask, do you know anybody who needs XYZ? And here's the thing, when you ask, do you know anybody who needs, that's also a way for you to soften the sale. Because if Michelle does need what you're offering, she'll be like, yeah, I do, I need it. And then she becomes a client. And if she knows somebody else, she can refer them to you. Sometimes it leads to clients, other times it leads to long-term partners, people that now know about what you do. And your job becomes reminding them on a quarterly basis, on a monthly basis that you exist, sending them Christmas notes, selling them, not everybody celebrates Christmas, but whatever you celebrate, holiday notes, essentially, to remind them that you exist. Okay, so those were some ways to use your organizations. You could also use reach out to local businesses or chambers of commerce. If almost every city has a chamber of commerce, right? Do you attend local chambers of commerce, and do you form relationships there? if you are ever in these spaces, you start to know other businesses there, and maybe in conversations you can speak about your lead magnet, you can speak about your offer. I created a guide on how to get 10 hours back in your week. If you're struggling with time management, I'd love to share it with you. That's something that the productivity consultants could share, right? How many people don't want to save time back? We don't get more time, right? It's one of those, I think they call it non-renewable assets. So that could be a way to get people to come into your world, because people need a reason to act. They need a reason to raise their hand to say, hey, I might be interested in what you're offering. That's how you go from a lead, someone you can contact, to an engaged lead, someone you can contact who has raised their hand and shown interest in what you're doing. And those are notes from day one. So if you missed day one, please check out the replay. It's on YouTube at my YouTube is Fopsy the Great, and my podcast is called Money Making Priorities. It's on both of them. So whatever one you prefer, audio or video, you can catch the replays there. Okay. Number 19 place to look your local and professional hubs is non-profits and faith communities. Did you know that if you volunteer somewhere, if you already serve actively in a local hub, a local church, a local mosque, you could offer to run free sessions for the members, the leaders, and it's of benefit to them, but it also acts as natural advertising, because the people that you go to church with every week, they don't know what you do. They just see you as like a member of this thing. They see you as just like Sally's mom or something. They don't know what else you do. So could you offer at your wellness coach, could you offer a free mindfulness session for community leaders? And maybe that could lead to them inviting you back to their retreats that they're having. Maybe it could lead to them realizing that you have more things that you're offering. I know Talia also offers, is one of our few product businesses, offers custom products, like customizing them with your name and all of that. This holiday season is the season where people often gift their people, their employees with swag, or their not employees but your customers as well with swag. So could you maybe go into your local dentist and say, hey, I made you the sample that has their name on it, and say, I actually do this as a business. If you'd like to offer something like this to your customers this holiday season, I'd love to have a conversation with you. That kind of lead magnet is called a sampler or trial, because you've given them a sample, you've created one for them, you help them see what it could look like. This is a bottle that has your name on it, right? And now they can see it, and every time they see it, it reminds them that you exist. So these are the things that you can do to go a step further and not wait for leads to come, but go to your local businesses, go to your local faith communities, non-for-profits you volunteer with, and see if there's ways you can collaborate. Number 20, which is the last thing I have on the list, is academic institutions. If you're an alumni, right, and you paid all that money to these universities and colleges, then maximize it. Could you offer something to recent grads? If you are, reach out to the career services to offer something to recent grads to find their first job. Could you offer something to the business students to help them learn about starting their own business and managing their finances? If you're an accountant, could you reach out to the international office to offer your immigration consulting services? Could you reach out to, there's so many places you could think about, but begin to expand your tentacles to all the places that people are. And remember that you can't wait for them to just come to you and fall into your lap. That's a recipe for feast of famine. You have to realize that you get to control the input. You don't get to control how many clients you have, but you can control how many leads you generate, which then leads to the clients that you do have. So maybe at this point you're thinking, okay, but will this work for my specific industry? Okay, the principles are universal and they apply to every service provider, everybody that needs to sell. And these are places you can look to find clients. But I also know that your work is unique and you don't want to apply, cookie cutter approaches. So the idea is for you to focus on each platform and say, how can I make this relevant to my own business? See how the last one of local businesses, we went from thinking about guides, thinking about giving them a sampler of your own product, because it's your job to kind of go the extra mile to think, how can I make this relevant for my own business? And while it's a group session and it's hard to do it for each person, inside of my one-on-one coaching, we actually tailor every single outreach message to your unique people so that you can deepen the relationship, but also say it in a way where it's most likely to close the business and you don't feel like it's it's a generic blast, right? It's personalized approach because I know that most of us care about our reputation. In fact, all of us probably do care about our reputation and how we're perceived, which is good because you want to care about people. You don't want to be a user, but it works for every industry. You just have to apply yourself and allow yourself to think about how to make it relevant to your industry. Another thing you might be thinking is, I'm afraid of being pushy or bothering people. I don't really like to sell. Do you like to make money? You're gonna have to sell. Okay, but I know you care about integrity and you want to show them that you are a helper, not just a salesperson, and that's a good thing. The key is to frame it as a service. We're thinking about how is this relevant to this person, and that's your job. If you can think about how it's relevant to them, you're more likely to close the sale rather than just giving them the bottle and saying, I offer customized bottles. Help them see how it's relevant to them. I know that this holiday season you might want to appreciate your workers for all the work they've done. I can make custom ones with their names on it, but you might want to appreciate your top customers as well. I'm able to create custom packages for them. So help them preserve mental calories and do the work for them, right? Don't let them burn calories thinking about how to hire you. Think about what can you do for them. Maybe you host a yoga retreat. Help the people that you serve on the board with, help them understand that would you like to include a yoga retreat at your next board retreat, so that people, you can relax, you can have all of this, do the work to figure out how it is relevant to them. But if you want support doing that, I'm available to help you, and that's essentially what I do with you instead of my one-on-one coaching. I help you to see how you're going to close at least 5 new high-ticket clients in the next 12 weeks, and it's essentially like having a co-founder with you, an external brain to work with you on every part of your business, from marketing to sales to even delivery, and how to make it make sense so that you're not spending all day long there. Okay. If at the end of this you're still thinking, I don't have enough people in my network, I think you have more people than you think. You know at least 100 people, and the brain maybe wants to tell you that you don't know enough people, but you know enough people. You know, I can look through your phone list and see how many people you know there. That's the proof that you have people. And you are part of many communities. So think about all the communities you're part of, paid communities, free communities that you're part of, your local home ownership association. I don't know what they're called. I think HOA. Yeah. So essentially think about places you're already a part of. The power is not just in the number of people, but in the people that those people know. It's their network as well. Right. And so cast the widest net you can and go from thinking just small to real people that you can help by offering your services to them. So your only job today is to build this list to 100 people. Go through every single one of these areas and think about what 100 people can I reach out to, from my existing digital network to my existing physical network to my community of experts to local and professional hubs that I have. And don't let fear win. If your brain keeps thinking, oh, I'm afraid, what if they say no? What if they say yes? What if it works out? What if this is the person that introduces me to all the other people? What if I have been sitting on untapped gold and this is how I get to the next level? What if this is the beginning of my best years ever and I'm just the one who needs to take the first step? What if it works out, right? The same energy you're using to catastrophize and think about how bad things could be, divert it into thinking about how good things could be. And I know that it's not an overnight change, but maybe get into the habit of it. Every time you think about a negative thing, counter it with how good it could get, and imagine how good it could get. Imagine how bad it could get. Those things are not real yet, right? So you're just putting energy into thinking about things that aren't real yet. So how about you switch the energy over to thinking about the good side, how good it could get. It's not real yet as well, but it helps you to take action in the line of your desired results. So that brings us to the end of day 4. And what not getting this list to 100 leads looks like is that you could watch another quarter slip away. You could feel like your audience is quiet and you're still just having some times when people send you referrals and other times when they don't. But if you choose to, work out this list, you realize that you have a pipeline of engaged leads, people that you can reach out to. You realize that you are in control, which is very important. And you also shift from a mindset of scarcity to, okay, there's opportunities, there's abundance, there's lots of people to reach out to. And you start to have people that you can reach out to and turn into clients by offering them your services, or that now know about you and can make referrals on a more consistent basis. Outreach is step 1. Then we have content. Then we have ads to build your leads. And inside of my one-on-one coaching, I will help you close these deals finally so that they move from leads to clients. But I want to take some questions. And I know we have like 10 minutes. So do you have questions or concerns or like anything that you're like, okay, I hear you, but this is still what I'm thinking about. I will pause here to answer any questions that you might have. Questions? I don't have questions, but I wanted to say great session. Okay. Okay. I'm so sorry. Client phone calls. I have to catch up with recording Alicia. Oh, no problem at all. No problem at all. I'm happy you're serving clients. Do it. Another cool way, simple way, is the stuff you're already talking about in your client calls, turn it into content. If one person has a problem, 20 people would have that same problem. Anonymize it. Put some distance between when it happens and when you talk about it if you want. But go back to past clients, past experiences you've had, and turn that into content. It will resonate more, right? Because it's real people that had those problems. And like I heard this a long time ago, but like where there is one person that has this problem, there are 20 more that have that problem. So use the real things that you're already solving in your client calls to generate your next leads by just talking about it. Right. Your best content is probably sitting in your calendar. So whatever you're already doing, talk about it. Okay. I like that you're inspired, but I'm more inspired when I see you execute. So please don't just learn, do something with it. Tomorrow's session is going to be purely coaching, hot seat coaching. So please bring questions, bring contents of what's happening in your business. And that's what we're going to talk about for the rest of tomorrow. But the idea is that you have this 100 people, and it would make me very, very happy if you reach out to at least 10 people from that list today. So that tomorrow you can tell me how it goes and all the things that happened or did not happen. And then we can work on that tomorrow. So make a promise to yourself to reach out to at least 10 people. And then if you're a trooper, go beyond 10, and do that. Okay. Final call for questions. Going once. Okay, Michelle.
You were saying, Fopsy, about, I guess I struggle with the language, right? When
Yeah.
I talk about the professional language and then turning it into, um, and I get a little bit about, because I am them, sometimes
Mhm.
I can get caught up in, talking about, leading with, I've been there, I know what you're experiencing, and this is what has helped me. And I guess it's the best for me. It's like, how do I find that balance between how much is it about my experience and how much is it right? Does that make any sense?
I think I'm understanding it, but maybe put it together into a question so that I will know how to answer it.
Okay. Um, would I lead with my experience and then I guess I'm answering my own question. I would lead with my experience. I know I've been there too. This is what has helped me. And and then
Okay.
what do
I
I
think I get
lead
it.
with? What do I
What do I
lead
lead
with?
with? Okay.
Thank you.
So as much as you have experienced, it's very good that you've experienced it because it means that you would know the problems intimately that they have.
Mm-hmm.
But people's worlds still revolve around them and
Yeah.
they're the hero in their own world. So you can use your experience to show empathy, to
Okay.
show that you are a trustworthy guide as well, that you have personal experience and credibility that makes you uniquely suited to help them. But it needs to end with to help them. I know I've experienced this and I know it so well because XYZ happened to me too. And that's why I know that like this the thing it needs to end in the like the how does this help them, how does the experience you have help them, right? Maybe that means that because I've experienced this, I know that here are the 3 to 4 steps that someone like you needs to take. Here's a simple process that I will guide you through, that I've guided myself through. Here's how I we can address this immediate fear that you have because I've experienced it too. Here's how I've worked with other clients to deal with this thing because I've worked with 10 people already with similar challenges. So it's very valuable because it means that you're a trustworthy guide when you've experienced something that they have as well. But it needs to come back to so what? So like so that it will be I so that I know the steps to help you and so that you can understand that it's not just you. I've also walked through this path and I have come out on the other side. So I know that you will come out on the other side. Like, so it's about them, but yes,
Yeah.
your experience nonetheless.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's a really good question. Yeah. So don't shy away from it. And I guess another way to use it is in storytelling. So if you just share your story of where you were, what you did, and where you are now, you don't have to even do much. They see themselves in it already. But like, it's not just about here are all the things. You don't stick to where you were alone. You go through the whole path of this is where I was, this is what I did, and this is where I am now. So that they kind of desire that too, right? And so they can see themselves in the where you were, and okay, I'm still here. So this is what's possible if I do this thing she's telling me, and this is where I could be, right? So you're doing the whole selling without trying to sell as hard because you're telling your story. So it's also very powerful. And it's the same, that's really what happens when you tell client case studies as well. So for everybody else here, if you're not your ideal client, if you have client case studies and you can show that story of where they started with you, what you did with them, and where they got to, then people naturally see themselves in that story as well. And it's a really powerful sales tool to just show people that I have helped people like you a bazillion times. So if you have many of those stories, please share them generously. Wonderful question. I don't have questions. Great session. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. So what are you going to work on today, everybody? What are we working on today based on this call? My list of names. Yes, my list of names. My list of names. People, you have names. Finishing the lead list. List of 100. Contacting 10. Yes, exactly that. List of 100. Contacting 10. So thank you everyone for your time. Back same time tomorrow. We have 2 days left and we're keeping the energy high. And we're going to contact those 10 so that we have actual questions. The questions ideally would be questions that came up based on you doing this work, so that it helps us to build on the momentum. All right. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And you get 4 minutes back this lovely afternoon for a quick lunch. All right. Bye, everyone.
Thanks so much, Buffy. Take care.
Cheers. Bye.